Parshas harei Kedoshim. The Kedoshim tells us that if you do the mitzvahs, you follow my mishpatim, v'chai bohem. You can imagine the chiyus of Rav Shimshon Pinkus, and he tells us that from Rav Chaim Volozhin, who writes that when a person does a mitzvah in Nefesh HaChaim, a person does a mitzvah, he is consumed by that mitzvah, and he's now in a bubble, in a world of Kedusha. That means he's actually somewhere else. Rav Shlomo Volba has a big Torah about the dual worlds that we live in. There's always a Olam Ahava and a Olam Yira. And if we're living in the Olam Ahava, where we are connected with Hashem and we have that bond, that connection to Hashem, then the Yira, all the fears of the world don't interfere with us. And unfortunately, we know from the Tzedaka that if we lose that connection, that love of Hashem, then even a rustling leaf will interfere and will get in the way and will be mafriya. The guy's in Machane Yehuda picking out tomatoes, then he might be picking out tomatoes. But if he's thinking in Torah, if he's doing it l'shem a mitzvah, then he's not in Machane Yehuda. He's in a bubble of kedusha. This is what all the Balei Musar tell us, that a person is where his mind is, where your machshavas are. A person can most closely be associated and defined by what he's thinking. If a person is thinking in Kedusha and thinking about a mitzvah, then that is where he is. To clarify, it's not that he's now like a new person and he's like Adam Rishon Kadem Achet. But Rav Shimshon Pinkus tells us, you are, with your guf, are now in Gan Eden. No, maybe you are not in a different body. You're not in Adam Rishon Kadem Achet's body. But you are now in Gan Eden. You are in that world. Powerful thought. Of course, v'chai bohem could also mean not that you're living in them, you will live by them. There's a Maisa with Rabbi Klugman. Rabbi Klugman runs the koilo in Kever Rachel. They learn all night taking chatzos, and he goes around collecting all over the world to fundraise for the upkeep of Kever Rachel and for the koilo. In 2006, he came to a shul in New York. The Rav's name was of Shraga Feivel Rosenberg. And he gave his whole spiel. He said there are tremendous nisim that happened for people who donated to Kever Rachel. There are skulas, this huge chosim. And after his pitch, the Rav, Rabbi Rosenberg, came over to him and he said, first of all, shkoyach for what you're doing, it's amazing, but I have a taina. We should give money to Kever Rachel so that we will get this chus and this schar and this shidduch and that parnasa and that hatzlacha. You give money because it's tzedaka, it's a mitzvah. His head, he just couldn't wrap his head around how people are only doing it for selfish reasons. And he said, I am makabel on myself right now to give $1,000 to Kever Rachel, b'schus my mother, Rachel Imen. Zehu. And he did. Kachava. A week later, check in the mail, $1,000. And he felt very strongly, Rabbi Rosenberg felt very strongly about this cause, and he sent money regularly to Kever Rachel with a note saying, I'm giving this just for Mama Rachel. This is why I'm giving it, for no other reason. Forget the sales pitch. This is what you're supposed to do. In 2013, he wasn't feeling well. Rabbi Rosenberg was rushed to the hospital. After a series of tests, the doctor came out and told him and his family that he has cancer. And it's in a very late stage. He had just a couple of months. We're starting chemo right away. Let's see what we can do. It didn't look good. And he immediately was bedridden. Chemo drains the life out of you. And he's sitting in bed and surviving. At one point, he turns to his son and says, I need to go daven my Kever Rachel. It was in New York. So his son said, Dad, you can't walk. We're not getting on a plane flying 12 hours to daven my Kever Rachel. He said, but he insisted. And every day, he made his desire known. I need to go daven by the mama. So at a certain point, the son didn't know what to do. He went to the Skolena Rebbe. So what am I supposed to do? My father, he's obsessed with this idea. He has to go to Kever Rachel. Take him. The Rebbe, Skolena Rebbe said, and you take him. This is what he needs. He clearly needs this. And it's not just a passing thing. Every day he's saying, I need to go to Mount Rachel. Take him. So they made a tremendous amount of arrangements with flights and wheelchairs, and he was not in an easy state. And the medical staff to come along, and they flew to Eretz Yisrael. The father said, you have to listen. They drove up to Kever Rachel. Rabbi Rosenberg was wheeled up. The wheelchair was parked, locked in front of the big stone thing they have by the Kever Rachel, by the Parshas. He stands up with all the strength that he has. He leans against the wall and he yells, "Mama, Mama! It's Tzedaka Rabbi Rosenberg here!" And everyone froze. He said, "I gave money to this meisid just for you. I had no ulterior motives. Please daven for me that I shall have refuah shalem." He broke down crying, and everyone else was crying too, a little teary-eyed. And when he was done, his son moved the wheelchair up and said, "Okay, Tal, let's go." And he turns around and says, "I don't need it." "What do you mean you don't need it?" He says, "I can walk, I feel fine." "What do you mean you feel fine?" Look. And he starts walking. It's the first time he's taken his own steps in months. People were shocked. Rabbi Klugman, the one who runs Kever Rachel, comes running out. He looks at him walking. He runs over to Rosenberg and they start dancing. Craziest thing. They went into they get into the taxi. The taxi driver says, "Where's the chayla? Where's the sick guy?" He said, "We have the guy. We left the sickness back there." Someone who lives in a mitzvah, someone who has the proper mindset, lives with kedusha, v'chai bohem. He's going to live in there, and mamela bohem. That's what's going to keep him alive. When you're living in a bubble of kedusha, there is no misa in Gan Eden. Pasha does it. We will be zeicha to reach the madrega when we do a mitzvah, that we should actually feel that we're placing our minds in this mitzvah, in this world. We have so many opportunities. How many mitzvahs do we do a day? When you wash your hands, don't just wash your hands so you can eat bread. Wash your hands because it's a mitzvah, because it's the easiest mitzvah in the world. You splash water in your hands 4 times, and now you can enter into a world that connects you to the Borei Olam. Incredible. When we feel that, and Be'ezer Hashem, we should be zeicha to the Bias God Tzedaka B'Meir V'Meinu, when the whole world will be consumed in this world of kedusha. Ani ma'amin be'emunah sheleima b'vias ha'mashiach. Ani ma'amin v'af al pi sheyisma'me'ayim kol zeh achak eloi b'chol yom sheyavoi b'chol yom sheyavoi